Hey y'all! And welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, I know.
Yes, we had our little baby. We have been prioritizing her and we kind of fell off the track of making videos.
Yep.
But we're back.
In 2024, we are determined to upload as much as we can because we want to give you guys the best of us.
And our little baby. So stay tuned for more adventures and
more cool videos from kinda cool people. So today, we are actually going to be talking about our birthing experience.
As you might know if you follow us on TikTok, if you don't, you should. Our TikTok is somewhere right here or here. Wherever it's at. I was getting induced at 39 weeks and 6 days.
Yep.
Day before I was 40 weeks. And the reason why is because our anniversary was on 40 weeks on the dot. And her due date was the same day.
Yep.
So she asked, do I want it Saturday or Friday? And I said Friday, early in the morning, so she could have her own birthday and we could have our anniversary the next day.
Out of all days, it had to be our wedding anniversary.
But that was super cool.
It was super cool, but I'm saying, like, what a coincidence.
I love it. I love it.
I do too.
Anniversary, baby. We went to the hospital at 5 a.m. in the morning. This guy slept. I didn't, and I had a really, really bad cold.
Well, I tried to stay up with you, but your pregnancy pillow was super comfortable. We got to the hospital around 5 a.m. and got checked in. Everything was going smoothly. And then they put her in the room, and the first bad thing
happened. The IV stinked. They couldn't get it here. They couldn't get it here. And then finally they put it right in a vein in my hand. And that was so painful. So painful. After birth, before birth, during, I had to sleep like this with my hand because it hurt so bad to move it anyway. Because you could feel the needle. I made it past that. And they started the medicine to get me started on inducement. At that time, I was 2 centimeters dilated.
So after that, we were actually able to get a couple hours of sleep. About 9 a.m. though is when she started
feeling it.
And it wasn't a want anymore, it was a need. She needed that epidural and she needed it bad.
Yes, I was so uncomfortable. It was so painful. And I've had kidney stones before, so I can compare it to a kidney stone. That's exactly how it felt for me. And I was ready to be out of pain. So they gave me the epidural, and huge shout out to those nurses there.
When the epidural happened, our nurse really stepped up on that one because Logan was so scared. And
I was terrified.
She kept saying she couldn't do it, and our nurse literally had to grab her by the shoulders and talk her through it.
Yes, and she held me down because I was shaking so bad, and she held me down and kept me there and just did not let go. And she was the sweetest. Oh man, I don't know how nurses do their job, but shout out to all the nurses out there. Thank you for what you do.
But after your epidural, you were in a much better mood.
I was so happy.
The biggest challenge for you though was when you couldn't eat at all.
Oh yeah. Not eat before. I did not. He just put his foot up. And I just don't like when the foot's up.
You didn't eat before. Oh my gosh.
I did not eat before.
I think they get it now.
I did. Oh my God.
She didn't eat before. In case you missed it. The first 17 times.
I did not eat before. Okay. One more time. I got it. I did not eat before we went, and that is a huge mistake. I highly recommend if you're having an inducement or you're in natural labor to eat, try to eat before you go because you can't eat.
Is that because you didn't eat before?
Yes.
So, yes, you did not eat, which in turn...
Before.
And guys, just to let you know, if she's not eating, that means you're not eating. Nurses gave us popsicles, gave us some ice water. It was all good. Around 3 o'clock, though, that's when things started to pick up and was like, oh, it's go time.
Had a lot of nausea, didn't understand why, and I tried to sleep it off, and then when the nurse came in, 30 minutes after I tried to sleep it off, I told her I had nausea, and she goes, well, why didn't you tell me? And I guess nausea is a thing you're supposed to tell your nurses about. So apparently the nausea is a signal that you are in a phase, I don't remember, but a phase, and it's about to be go time.
When that started, they had to actually call our doctor, who was on call at the time, so we had to wait on her, but they started setting her up. And
they had me pushing. And before we go into more detail, Taylin, our daughter, was flipped, not the right way. Like she was head first, but she wasn't coming out the right way. I think it was head up or head down. I don't remember. But they had me pushing and pushing and pushing, and finally I made it to a phase, and they called the OB-GYN, and she came over, and then we started to give birth. That was around 4:50. I started pushing for giving birth. And we ended up having her at 5:20. The best moment of our lives, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Is the best thing that's ever happened to us. Best.
And it was almost the scariest moment of our lives because, like she said, Taylin was the wrong way. And she took in a lot of that fluid. She really couldn't breathe on her own when she came out, so she wasn't crying. And that was one of the first signs we knew something was wrong.
Yep, soon as they put her on my chest, I knew something was wrong because she wasn't crying the normal way. And they took her and put her on the table, and they had to CPAP her. They had to clear out her airway. They had to make sure that she was breathing on her own, and then she wasn't getting it back, and then they called the NICU to come get her. And soon as the NICU walked in the door, while we're sitting there praying, and I'm sitting there just watching her, while I'm getting stitched up, by the way. Stitched up because I had a 2nd-degree tear. I'm just sitting there watching her, and he's over there praying over her, and the NICU walks in, and she snaps out of it. Snaps right out of it, cries normally, and they kept her on a monitor for a good hour while we did skin to skin, and she made it through.
And they wanted to monitor her more throughout the night while we got to eat, so they actually let us order dinner. And again, a big shout out to our nurse. She actually made us a mocktail after birth just because she wanted us to celebrate, which was so nice.
I loved it. And we got food, and those pancakes, man, the after birth food, it's the best meal of your life. Tastes so good.
I think I had a chicken parmesan.
You did. I had pancakes. I had breakfast.
You did.
For dinner, and it was good.
But
so good.
They were able to monitor her, make sure everything was going good, and she was able to keep at 100% for the entire rest of the night.
And this is where I panic ordered something, because that moment was the scariest moment of our lives, the breathing, and I panic ordered an outlet sock to monitor her breathing while she sleeps, because I don't know what I would have done.
It was crazy to think that we were only parents for about 5 minutes, and the amount of love and fear we felt in that entire time was something that you really can't explain until you become a parent. And that's what everyone told us. You won't know how much you love your child until it happens.
Opens up a whole new world and a whole new perspective and point of view of life.
It really does, because everything we do now is for our daughter. And I just look at this little girl and think, I want to give you everything.
And it's not like I don't want to give my husband everything that I can. It's just, it opens up another world and perspective. And it's really cool.
She's by far amazing. She makes...
We're a little biased though, but she is amazing.
Nah, she's... Even the doctor says she's the best.
Yes, she did. We got transported to the mom and baby unit, and this is where I couldn't do anything. I was in so much pain, so much. And I really don't know how people do it after birth and put on makeup and all of that. I really don't. Because I could not move. I couldn't even, our baby was crying, I couldn't even move to get her. I was in tears, absolute tears when a nurse came in and had to do something else to me, and they were coming in every hour, didn't let me sleep, and I had a cold. It was not a great experience over there. Just struggling the whole time over there. And thankfully my husband did everything. And I was so thankful for it. It was just really, really hard, and I honestly wanted to go home because I felt so out of place.
And we knew we had family who would have helped us through it, so we did everything we possibly could to be able to go home.
And it was our anniversary.
It was. We ate dinner there, didn't we?
Yeah, we ate dinner there, and then I packed up to go home. Because I wanted to go home so bad. I just didn't feel comfortable. I felt like I didn't belong in the mom and baby unit because I felt unsupported.
And so we were able to convince our doctor that, hey, she's good enough to go home. Taylor's able to come home. All the tests came back that she was looking very healthy. And
so we got to go home. We ended up celebrating our anniversary when we got home with a cake, and he got me some flowers. And that was it.
to celebrate her soon, and I will be showing you guys what I'm doing because I'm planning something pretty special.
And I can't wait to see what you planned.
But overall, the whole experience from when we got to the hospital that first morning to when we got to come home with our little girl, it was such a... It's like time sped up but also stood still at the same time. It's hard to explain, but it's like your whole world just shifts.
By the time this is posted, she's probably going to be a month old. So we already have been through a whole month.
So thank y'all very much for coming and listening to our birth story. We look forward to making you guys new videos, and
stay tuned for our next content.
Until then, I'm Andy.
And I'm Logan.
And we're kinda cool.
Kinda cool.